Well, tell you what, I want to take a few minutes right here in session one to talk a little bit about some things we've been learning at Exponential and kind of where we're going with Exponential. And I think this is going to impact everybody in this room, whether you're here for the first time or you're here for the 5th time or maybe the 15th time. What makes us, and we talk about this a lot, a community with a cause, not a conference. What makes us, you need to know that a community with a cause, not a conference, is that we have a clear mission. And our clear mission is what we call the 16% mission. That we want to see 16% of all churches across the United States either reproducing or multiplying. They're starting other sites, starting other churches. Yes, I'll take some applause for that, right? Because we know this is like the sociological tipping point that could actually change the landscape of our country. Because what will happen in that 16%, when we get there, we believe that every person will know someone else whose life has been changed by Jesus Christ. And that's what we want to see happen. Now, here's some of the good news to bring some of you up to speed. We actually do some research on this. Last time we did it was right before COVID. And we actually saw that the number of reproducing churches had nearly doubled. We'd gone from before that at 4% to 5% to 6% to 7% of all churches were now reproducing churches. Now, post-COVID, I think it took a toll on a lot of us. COVID did. And I think one of the things we began to look at ourselves, even at Exponential, we thought, you know what? It feels like we've even drifted some from our original strategy. And so what I want to share with you is what we want to do is we always want to be an organization that comes alongside and says this, that you can do it and we can help. Our posture at Exponential, we do not want to be the hero. We want you to be the hero. What you are doing, what God is doing through you, we want to come alongside you and help you. And the denominational and network leaders, we want you to know that we are not the movement. No, we just come together like this. We are not the movement, we are not the network, and we fully recognize that every church planter, they need a network, they need a denomination to hold them accountable and sustain them. So then the question becomes, okay, so who are we, Exponential? And for the last 9 months or so, we've been asking that question. We ask God, say, okay, God, what do you want? God, who are specifically you calling us to serve? And what's our role in serving them? And so I want to just quickly share with you some things that I think are going to impact us over the next several years at Exponential. The person we feel called to serve is what we're calling a multiplier. Now, just do me a favor. Turn to the person next to you and say, multiplier. Very good. A multiplier. You may, okay, well, what's a multiplier? Well, here's what a multiplier is. A multiplier is this. A multiplier, we're defined this way, a healthy, disciple-making leader who champions reproduction. I want you to get that in your head, get that in your brain. Hopefully it'll sink into your heart. Now, this might be someone who, yes, they're paid by a church, they might be paid by a ministry, but they also might be co-vocational or bivocational. They might be a marketplace leader who isn't paid at all. They might be a college student. It might be someone who's retired. It could be any of those persons could be a multiplier. And to give a more complete definition, a multiplier is someone who they have this passion to live a 100x kind of life, where they have ripple effects that take place beyond them, beyond their lifetime. They're not looking for the next kind of flash in the pan. They're not looking even to be the hero. They actually want to be hero makers. They want to make disciples who are going to be hero makers. And they want to actually reproduce disciples, leaders in churches, and churches of a variety of expressions, some that we've never even thought of to date. And it's not just quantitative, it's also qualitative. These multipliers is not just about the 16% or reproducing or numbers, but there's also a flourishing life that we believe they aspire to, that we've got to address. These multipliers, they want to do the Jesus mission, Jesus way. They want their kids to know and love Jesus and never to sacrifice them on the altar of ministry. They want to have strong marriages that would withstand the pressures of both aging or cultural shifts. They want to see the kingdom expand, but like I said, they want to do the Jesus mission, the Jesus way, so they don't want to do it at the expense of their own spiritual life or their own emotional health, their own physical well-being, or their relationships. And let me tell you something. That kind of life, it's not going to happen by accident. It doesn't happen by accident. I mean, all we have to do, let's be honest, is just kind of open up your social media feed, and it's unfortunately, what we're talking about, this multiplier, it's not normative. But here's the thing, okay, and hear me on this. We believe you can do it, both the quantitative and the qualitative. We believe you can do it, and here's what, an exponential, we want to help you do that. And we spent some time kind of thinking through this, praying through this, talking about this. There's a few things we've got figured out. There's a lot more things we've got to get figured out. But here's what I would like for you to do. I would love to have the opportunity to actually interact with you, talk with you, hear from you about this. And if you're interested, if there's something inside that makes your heart beat fast when I talk about a multiplier like that, who, yes, they want 100x, but they also want the flourishing life. There's a QR code up on the screen there. And I'd encourage, just go ahead and take out your phone right now. You guys are probably all doing this at church by this point, right? Take out your QR code. Take out your phone, I'm sorry. I'm going to love you to scan that QR code. If this resonates with you at all, scan that QR code. You'll receive a text with a link. You can fill out the form. It'll actually give you an opportunity to set up a time over the next several weeks where we can interact, where we can discuss, and we can even share some of our thoughts about this. So we'd love for you to go ahead and do that. Because that's who we feel like we're here to serve. And I hope every one of you, I hope everyone will go like, yeah, that's exactly who I want to be. Both the quantitative and the qualitative, a multiplier.